Hey guys, I'm Grestar, and how about we look again at The Wolf Among Us? That's right, we just have a little bit more of the Fable book kind of stuff reading to do. I had intended to do this earlier, but I kind of forgot a little bit with everything else that was going on, just other videos. So thank you for those of you who reminded me, and thank you for being so kind and patient about it. So now, extras, I assume it's here, it says it's new. Yes, Book of Fables. I hope that over the listings it tells me which I haven't read yet. I wish it told me here, because I don't recall. Actually, I think these are the new ones, right? The ones with the symbols? Yeah, because, I did read a lot of them before, and I don't have all of them unlocked, but I did unlock a good number more, so we're going to just read them. This is all it is. It's just a bonus little episode. Obviously enough, I beat the game already. If you missed that, go back and check this playlist. It was pretty awesome. But yeah, we're just going to be reading these entries now, so go. Okay, cool. Acting Deputy Snow White. With Ichabod Crane firmly out of the picture and King Cole still absent, the task of leading Fabletown falls squarely on Snow's shoulders. She has performed many of the job's duties for a long time, picking up the slack for Crane, but now that she's fully in charge of the business office, she has to deal with a new level of politicking that she had not previously been exposed to. Yes. Ooh, the Jersey Devil again. He looked cool as a fable. He looked all sleazy as a man. Anyway, the Jersey Devil, Garden State Goon. Not all of the Fables who came to this world landed in Fabletown. There are those who scattered across the farthest corners of the earth, and there are those who simply prefer the Garden State to the Empire State. Such is the Jersey Devil. Reports of its appearance have varied, although most accounts make mention of leathery wings. But an encounter with a certain axe of legend some years ago has temporarily rendered that feature absent. Oh, I didn't know that. Cool. Yeah, I didn't know he even had wings. Woodsman's axe. Ensorcelled. What? Is that a word? Ensorcelled by druids. I assume that means, magified, basically, but I didn't know that was a word. Once just a simple tool for felling trees, the axe became much more when it was ensorcelled by druids and marked with their runes. But it truly became an object of legend when the woodsman used it to slice the big bad wolf from nave to neck in protection of Little Red Riding Hood. It may carry old world charm, but its simplicity of design and quality workmanship make it an effective tool, or weapon, even today. What's nice is they have all the new ones, right in a row, or at least it seems that way, because I don't think it was back, on the selection screen, so I think they've just, compiled them all for me, and that's really helpful. Johan the Butcher. His name is often said in the same breath as that of the baker and candlestick maker of Fabletown, and like those other tradesmen, Johan the Butcher's storefront has served Fabletown for ages. Fresh cuts, exotic meats, and even full sides of beef for vigorous appetites of ogres and trolls. But Johan's business has fallen on hard times and fallen in with the wrong crowd, as the quality of his products declined, and his business turned into a front operation for the crooked man. Some have started to wonder if they ever really knew Johan. Isn't that the truth, though? I mean, seriously. Bluebeard's money. One might think that Bluebeard donates funds to the Fabletown government for nefarious purposes, seeking special favors or to have a louder voice in government proceedings. But what he really wants is stability and strength. Because, as far as Bluebeard is concerned, Fabletown exists to insulate him from the Mundy world. Oh, as much as his money can be a sword, it also serves as a shield. I thought he did have his own kind of nefarious... Well, okay, maybe I didn't think nefarious, but I did think selfish, which is actually what this is saying. So I was right about Bluebeard, more or less. I just didn't know the exact details. The Crooked Lair, headquarters. Occupying a desanctified church, this is just one of many locations the Crooked Man's operation uses to run the Fabletown underworld. Its lounge atmosphere makes for a comfortable meeting place, unless you are an unwelcome guest. It is completely boarded up to the outside world, and the only way in is through one of the many portals, marked by a door with the Crooked Man's Catherine wheel icon, scattered throughout the city. And elsewhere. Ooh, so his reach extends, or at least the portal, extends beyond the city. That's interesting. What if someone else were to stumble upon it? The Crooked Man, Crime Lord. The Crooked Man has slowly built himself into one of the most powerful figures in Fabletown. His operation started with a crooked sixpence and a crooked house, two things he cared about more than his wife or children, whom he killed rather than let them stand in his way. Oh, I see. In his rise, the Crooked Man has ensnared many fables in his criminal web, providing them with what they need, but always at a high cost. He is cunning, persuasive, and ruthless, and now a crow. Isn't that funny? I like it. Load faster, thank you. Tiny Tim, Sentry. While most fables theorize that their longevity and overall well-being is improved by the Mundy World's knowledge of them, for a select few that does not seem to apply. When a malady or injury is an integral part of a fable's story, that notoriety can make recovery nearly impossible. That's what Tiny Tim thinks at least, and no medical care or magic, rather, none that he can afford, can heal his leg. He is forever a gimp. I am patting his head with the mouse. Anyway. Life on the farm. With its idyllic location and managed community, the farm would seem to be a welcome alternative to eking out an existence in Fabletown. But those who have lived there see it very differently. They see it for what it is, a prison. For what it is, now the game is actually telling me it's a prison? You weren't saying that before. A place where you are free to be who you are and do whatever you please, except leave. It doesn't help that while fables who appear human do not have to worry about being sent to the farm, they always seem to fill the leadership roles there. Great. Now it's all mixed. Vivian's story, the girl with the ribbon. Vivian was the very first to bear the curse of the purple ribbon. Removing the ribbon would result in death, and any attempt to talk about it was thwarted by the spell upon it. As time went on, she tried to live a normal life. Eventually, she married a nice man, but he was constantly wondering about the ribbon around her neck. Despite her pleas for him to leave it alone, one night while she was sleeping, he attempted to remove it. As he pulled on the edge of the string, Vivian woke and saw what her husband was doing. In a panic, she pulled away, preventing the ribbon's knot from being undone. Furious, she tried to express the severity of his actions, but her husband was unable to understand. She realized then that she couldn't trust him and decided to leave. She lived alone for the rest of her days in the homelands, preferring the safety of isolation to the risk of another betrayal. And then eventually she got in with Georgie Porgy, I guess, and such things happened. The Pudding and Pie, Vivian and Georgie's place. Vivian and Georgie met during the exodus from the homelands, and they helped each other survive the long journey to the mundane world. Upon their arrival, however, they found it hard to make a decent living. With what little money they had, they opened the Pudding and Pie. Operating a strip club may not have been the most desirable occupation, but they figured it was better to be in charge of a place like this than be forced through desperation to work at one. That's true, though imagining Georgie Porgy on a pole, Winterwolf, Bigby's mother. Yay! Oh, look at the picture! I like that. Okay, Bigby's mother, Winter, fell in love with the North Wind and bore him 7 wolf cubs, but he quickly grew tired of her and left Winter. Aw, that's sad. Heartbroken and alone, she tried to care for her cubs despite her grief. She was especially fond of Bigby, but as the runt of the litter, he was often teased by his older brothers. After Winter's death, Bigby's siblings went in search of their father, but Bigby stayed behind to protect his mother's corpse from scavengers. Oh. Unfortunately, he was too small to defend her. From then on, he vowed to eat something bigger each day until he was large enough to confront his father and finally make him pay for the pain he caused his family. I like that backstory. How accurate, like, in canon with the fable is that? That's really cool. Or is that just something they made for this game? I don't know. I like it, though. The Big Bad Wolf. Bigby's true form. Bigby's true form is that of a giant, 8-foot-tall wolf. In addition to his iconic huff and puff power, he has also inherited other abilities from his father, the North Wind. For example, Bigby is able to hold his breath for an abnormally long amount of time, making it impossible for him to drown. Actually impossible? Because they say an abnormally long amount of time, but then impossible for him to drown? I mean, does that mean, like, he can hold his breath for as long as he needs to? Does that mean he doesn't need to breathe? I don't know. Anyway, Mary's loyalty, part of the job. Bloody Mary began working for the Crooked Man many centuries ago. He promised her freedom to do as she pleased as long as she agreed to act as his personal bodyguard and hitman. Because of the Crooked Man's power and influence, Mary never had to worry about getting caught by the authorities. She enjoys her job immensely and would defend the Crooked Man to the death, mostly because she finds it fun. Can I rotate? Ah! Darn it. I can't rotate these at all. Oh well. Fabletown Justice. When a criminal is captured in Fabletown, the traditional procedure is to hold a formal hearing in front of the community or concerned parties. However, exceptions are often made to expedite the process. In reality, there aren't any hard and fast rules for these types of situations, and the extent to which policies are upheld can depend on who is being charged, like the case of the Crooked Man done right in front of the witching well. A new order, Snow White in charge. With Crane out of the picture, Mayor Cole has officially appointed Snow White as the Director of Operations and Deputy Mayor in his absence. Many would say this promotion is a long time coming, since she was instrumental in the establishment of Fabletown and personally ensured that many Fables made it to the New World safely. She's also been doing the work of Deputy Mayor unofficially for years, because Crane is stupid. Sheriff Bigby. Why do I just... Oh, I guess 2 pictures. Okay, it's just weird that, like, she is actually Snow just sitting there, and mine is a portrait. Just kind of... that's a picture of Bigby. Not like picture Snow, but picture. Anyway, Sheriff Bigby. After fleeing the homelands, Bigby Wolf spent many years wandering through Europe. With the Fable colony quickly developing in the New World, Snow White and the Feathertop tracked down the... Oh, and Feathertop. I don't know who Feathertop is. Tracked down the wolf and offered him passage to Fabletown. He agreed, and Snow cut him with a lycanthropy-stained knife to give him the power to change into human form at will. That's pretty awesome. Bigby became Sheriff of Fabletown under King Cole's administration, but because of his violent past, many Fables didn't trust him, and he was banned from ever setting foot on the farm. Fair. To this day, he struggles to redeem himself in the eyes of the community. Oh, that is so very true. Why do you keep lagging? I didn't even press anything. Don't lag, game. Jeez. I think that's all of them, but I'm going to quickly check now. Really quick, just make... Yep, that's all of them. Alright, well, there you go, guys. There were the rest of the Fables that I had unlocked. Obviously enough, there are things like this. I assume this was in Chapter 1, Chapter 2, 3, 4, 4. But actually, only missing out on, what, like 6? Yeah, only missing out on 6 Fable entries. I think that's pretty good. So yeah, I hope you guys learned more. I hope you guys enjoyed what you learned. Let me know what you think about some of those things in the comments. I think my favorite of these was just learning about Bigby as a little wolf. I didn't know he was the runt. I didn't know anything about... Well, I knew some things about, like, his mother and father from the comments, but I didn't know all of that. So I found it rather interesting, and I'd say that it's very cute, it's sweet, and it's a nice story. It shows his development, and I like that. Yeah, again, let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Remember to be nice to each other. And we're gonna have a casual end here, so boop!